Video we are going to talk about list. So what is a list? Just like your shopping cart in Amazon, it'll have a list of items that you would like to buy or that you would like to perform some operations on. So now let's take that my cart is a list. So my cart is going to have a few items. So let's assume I want to buy a bag, and then the next item should be separated by a comma operator. So and I want to buy a phone. I want to buy a, let's say, bike. So if you try to call cart, my cart is having bag, phone, and bike. So using this, I can perform any operations. So does a list should only have strings? No, it can have items like this as well. For example, I'm going to update my cart with first is a string, which is bag, and then I'm going to give it a number, which is 5, and then I'm going to close it. Now if I type in cart, what I'm getting an output which is string as well as a number. So you can have multiple objects inside a list of multiple types as well. And the most major function, a Python function that we would be using when we are working with list is a length function, and a short form for that is length. So cart, showing that the length of the cart list is 2, which means there are 2 items present inside it. There is bag and there is another number, that is 5. And just like the last video, which is string, we can do indexing operations with list as well. For example, cart of, let's say, 2. What I'm going to get, the indexes out of range because I have only 2 digits, and we already know indexing starts with 0. So this is going to be 0 and this is going to be 1. So let's try with 1. I'm getting an output 5. Let's try with 0. I'm getting an output back. So I'm sure that you are familiar with indexing now. Now let's try to perform a few more operations. For this, what we will do is we will create a new list. Okay, let's type it as list1, and I'm going to assign it a few values. And this one, when I call it, I'm getting an output like this. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, let's try to perform some indexing operations like we did in strings. For example, let's try to grab all the letters from B till the end. So what is the index number of B? It is 0 and then 1. So what I have to specify here, list1 of starting letter is going to be 1 because A is going to be 0, I want from B, so I'm going to give 1 all the way to the end. I'm going to close it. So I'm going to get from B till 3. And now let's try to start with 0. So either you can mention 0 or you can just leave it empty. Both solves the same function. And here I want it till, let's say, A, B, C alone. So it's going to be 0, 1 and 2. But if you want this 2 as well, you have to stop it at this value. So what you have to do, you have to type in 3. So I got A, B and C, which is 0, 1, 2. It's getting included. So why we mention 3 is it goes all the way till 3. So 0, 1, 2 and 3, but it does not include 3. That is what we are getting an output here. And like strings, if we can we reverse it? Yes. Using the step function, we can reverse it. So 3 to 1 CBA. Okay. And now what we'll do, we'll try to add an item to the list. How can we add? So list1 is equal to list 1 plus one more value. What we can have, let's call it a new item. I'm going to type it as list1. I can see that this is added here along with it. Okay, let's try to perform some operations on this. So list1 multiplication of 10. Now it's repeated for 10 times, as you could see. So we can perform all the arithmetic operations with list as well. Okay, and we added this thing, right? So for this, there is another way of doing it. We have a function called append. So list1 dot append, and the bracket I'm going to pass this string. So I'm going to say new item 2. Or if I call list1, you see here, right? This new item 2 is getting appended to list1 and it is present here. And if we want to remove any one of the values from here, what we can say, we can use a command called list.pop. And then what we can say, what is the number we want to pop? Let's say I don't want B. What is the index number of B? It is 1. So I'm going to type it. Oh, sorry, I just named it wrongly. So it's list1 pop of 0. See, my B is out and it's getting displayed here. Now if I show list1, you see here B is not there, right? Because we use the pop function to bring B out of this list. So that's why it is not present. Okay. So I'm again going to input list1. It's perfect. So we saw append and pop. And instead of using indexing, we can reverse it using a function as well. For example, list1 dot reverse, and I'm going to hit enter. Now if I type in list1, what has happened? It is in a reversed order. There are a lot of functions that you could use. Try searching for some functions and